Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elseworlds Exchange. I'm Sal.
And I'm Joel.
So, Joel, before we get into it, I just want to mention, so the Venom movie's coming out in October.
Sure is.
Do you think we're going to see this version of Venom in the MCU?
I sincerely doubt it.
Yeah, I'm also of the opinion that we will never see the Tom Hardy Sony movie Venom in the MCU.
Yeah, and maybe that's for the best.
I think that's definitely for the best.
There you go.
But the reason why we're talking about Venom is because recently they dropped a new trailer for the Venom movie. This is where the immortal line "Turd in the Wind" was coined.
Yep.
I wonder if it will be in the movie. Sony is really happy to just cut out huge swaths of trailer scenes from the movie and then release like just half of a movie. If the Slender Man is any indication.
Slender Man, heck, even with another superhero movie. Remember Amazing Spider-Man 2, how little of the trailer was actually in that movie?
And so much of that movie either ended up on the cutting room floor or was completely reshot.
Yep.
I really have to believe that Sony will treat Venom the same way, only because Sony is as Sony does. Sony reverts to type. But Sony did have the audacity to mention that they were building an interconnected universe. Do you remember what it's called?
The Universe of Marvel Champions or something equally as stupid.
Something horrible, like I think it's like the Sony Marvel characters or something like that. But they really did name it, and it really does suck, and it really doesn't roll off the tongue, and it doesn't make any sense. And
it sounds like a computer came up with it.
Yes, and it also feels like it's kind of presumptuous to start with this one movie because it doesn't have a dislike button that looks exactly like it has a dislike to like ratio. Like, people actually are enjoying the trailer, probably because they're dazzled by the effects. They're really excited to see Venom done properly, even though there's no Spider-Man, there's no white symbol.
So it's still not properly.
No, but he does quote Michelini lines, like the eyes, lungs, pancreas lines, straight up from the Venom books, straight up from the Spider-Man books with Venom in them. But, is making Venom a cannibal enough to make it an exciting movie? Well, as much as I love seeing most of my protagonists be cannibals, I have to admit that I that wasn't enough of a character trait for me to get too excited about any kind of movie, particularly Venom.
I mean, all the greatest heroes in fiction: Hannibal Lecter, cannibal. the Texas Chainsaw Family, the Sawyers, cannibals.
It takes a little bit of finesse to make that cannibal thing work.
Oh yeah, you got to be a really charming cannibal.
This is true.
A fine young cannibal, if you will. In the super chat, Mr. Giggles, hey guys, Joel, I got 2.5 kilograms of Canadian, aka real, bacon. Sam Anderson, boggles my mind Sony's not spinning off from the Spider-Verse alternate Spider-Man. Why Craven when Spider-Man 2099 would be dope? Yeah, actually, it's interesting. We should get into it because the reason this episode is so much about Venom is because we're going to talk about the characters that Sony could possibly make into a Sony Spider-Man movie universe. Indeed. Should we also talk about who they have in development right now so we don't step on our own toes?
That's probably a good idea. So, Joel, who are they making right now? Like, who have they threatened to make so far?
It's a threat.
Get into it because there are quite a few characters. Because I think they pretty much named most of them. I know they said something like, we have 900 characters that we can spin out from, which made me really worried because that's such a threat.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's like a money tactic or what, but in any case, who are they threatening to work on right now? Like, do you know who's next after Venom?
Well, we in terms of news breakage, we know that Craven has gotten a writer.
Yes.
So that's something.
Yeah, they have a writer on Craven the Hunter, which
they got a writer.
Do you know who it is? I gotta see. Sony Craven movie writer. I'm just curious as to who the writer is.
Isn't it like
the
a
guy who wrote The Equalizer?
Oh, there you go. That was a fun movie.
Sure. Did you see the second one?
No, I didn't. I heard it's god awful, like all sequels like that usually are.
Yeah, that's true. But,
apparently, they've cast Morbius.
Oh, yes, that's right. I've heard that they cast Morbius. I believe it's Jared Leto.
Yeah, because apparently he didn't get enough with the Joker. It's like, no, I can be creepier still.
Well, plus, they're kicking him to the curb over at DC, so, let's just get anybody then.
He dare spoke ill.
yes, of his franchise and how like terrible he was.
Will he also get to really inhabit this role too? Will he get plasma written across his forehead?
I mean, I gotta say, like, I mean, that was because Sony is like a try-hard and they really want to like talk about how like badass and cool and not Disneyfied they are, despite the fact that they are neutering the hell out of this Venom movie by making it PG-13 to appeal to all audiences. Because God bless them, they need to in order to make enough of a dime off this movie. But like, make Morbius, at the very least, if you can trust anybody to make Morbius into a literal living vampire, it should be Sony.
You would hope so.
So, but yeah, who knows? I mean, like, that cartoon has informed so much of the mythos of Spider-Man and
boy has
the
it.
cultural consciousness of that character and all the ancillary characters that there's no reason to suspect that he won't have suckers on his hands and drink and absorb plasma. And
have glorious Fabio hair.
And have a really, really terrific Eurotrash accent. I mean, you know, we can only hope anyway.
In a perfect world.
Yeah. So, and they've also announced before either of those, they announced another movie, but then they took it off the schedule.
Yeah.
But then apparently it might be back on. And that might be the Silver Sable Black Cat crossover movie.
Right, because of course these are two characters with a long history together.
Oh yes, I remember most of my long boxes are actually full of Silver Sable Black Cat crossover stories. So you could tell. Plus, like, you know, one is a assassin leader of their foreign country. The other one is a cat burglar who dresses like a Playboy bunny. So, like, you know, there's the possibilities are endless.
They truly are. Truly one of the greatest duos. I mean, like, move over Iron Fist and Power Man, move over Green Lantern, Green Arrow,
yeah,
Silver
Starsky
Sable, and Blackadder.
Forget all the great Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Move aside Silver and Black.
Yep.
Happening. Yeah, so these are... did they even mention any more besides Venom, or is that it?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, actually. Apparently, Silver and Black was canceled to make way for a Silk movie, which... I actually kind of liked Silk, but again, you fall into that whole Venom problem where it's like, well, Silk as a character is predicated on the existence of Spider-Man. She is a direct answer to Spider-Man, the Spider Bite, and everything. How the hell do you make that work?
Yeah. Now, that being said, I mean, like, Silk is very much, like, despite the fact that she is, directly connected to Spider-Man in terms of she got bit by the same spider, that if she goes near him, she needs to bone him.
Yep.
At the same time, she is like the creators who've worked on her since wrenching her from Dan Slott made her into her own character, made her kind of like her own interesting character.
And I quite enjoyed the Silk books. While they lasted, I thought they were pretty funny, and there was a nice little undercurrent of 90s nostalgia to all of them.
Very much so. Plus, it was fun to actually like have a character that, I don't know, looked cool, had her own neat costume, and had her own like corner of the Spider-Man universe without it feeling kind of like unearned.
Yeah, with a lot of her own villains too and everything.
Exactly. The problem with that is, like, if you're gonna do Silk, like, because you want to do a spider character, like a straight up spider character that isn't just like Venom, but we're desperately not using Spider-Man, then why not use Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman?
Do they even own the rights to Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman, or is that more of a Marvel Disney thing that holds the rights to her?
I don't know, and I've heard conflicting reports, which is why I'm saying out loud that I don't know, because, like, I have heard that Sony had her. I've heard that Marvel had, like, the TV rights. You know, I've heard a lot of different conflicting reports about what version of Spider-Woman, if any, either one of those houses has.
Maybe that's why they haven't done anything with her yet, because no one knows who owns what.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why I liked the idea of using Jessica Drew is because she is totally unconnected to Spider-Man. Except when it comes to, you know, the Spider-Verses and whatnot. She seems to have, like, in the comics at least, completely accepted her role as, like, being within Peter Parker's shadow. Like, yes, I am a spider person. Yes, I came after him. And even though I am totally disconnected from Peter Parker in every single way, I am part of that stupid bullshit, like,
club.
Mythology club, yeah. Before we jump into the next... is there any more? Are there any others?
One last one. Jackpot, apparently.
Oh, God, yes. I did remember them talking about that. Jackpot was such a, like, wide... Like,
For me, I consider Jackpot to be like they did it as a joke.
Yeah,
like
it has to be.
Not that they announced it, but like Jackpot as a character, they did as a joke. Like I feel
Wasn't
like
she only in like one arc?
She is in one arc. She did have her own book, but it was a 3-issue miniseries. But Jackpot, like I thought that they created Jackpot just to go like, no, don't worry, we did something with Mary Jane, and then go like, oh my god, did you see what they said online about it? Let's not use her. Let's not make her Mary Jane change gears.
Psych.
Now, I don't think that that's kind of conspiratorial tinfoil hat for me, but stranger things have happened. I think the Jackpot is just like the less said of this era of Spider-Man, aka the Brand New Day, the better. So
indeed,
yeah, Jackpot book, sweet, can't wait. But yeah, so with that in mind, before we jump into our own pitches, because we're going to talk about like, okay, so let's say that Venom comes out and it is a smash success, and Sony, I mean, like, here's the thing: if it breaks even, Sony will be like, okay, it was a success. We need to spin out a universe from this.
We did it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, mission accomplished. So
pats on the back for everybody.
Yeah, I feel like if it breaks even, they're going to consider it a win. But let's say it is a legitimate win, and Sony just goes completely like nuts out for this whole franchise. We're going to be pitching what can spin into the Sony cinematic universe with Venom and probably a reluctant and desperately not willing Spider-Man. Into this interconnected universe. So we're going to
that would be some shit if they were actually able to pull Tom Holland Spider-Man into this shit somehow.
I legitimately hope they don't. People are like,
same.
Where's the Spider-Man connection? You can't have Venom without Spider-Man. I'm like, yes, I agree. Don't put him in there because the less said about it, the better.
I definitely builded my pitches as Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe.
Yes, I mean they have to be. So jumping into the super chats, Mod King Mopey 900. That's three a year. We know that they will if they can. That's 300 years of this really fun story. Yeah, can't wait. Mr. Roboto, so Dr. Morbius with the Legion of Monsters. Again, they don't have access to the Legion of Monsters.
No, they don't.
They only have Morbius. Bubba7012, I like how Marvel's willing to give Venom a bunch of books, but Miles is starring in a film and has no books coming out while the movie's releasing. That is interesting, and I'm wondering about that because, like, Venom got a massive push, and know that it's because of the Venom movie.
Yep.
But they don't have a stake in the Venom movie. So why did X-Men get replaced with Inhumans, but Venom gets, like, more exposure than ever?
I guess it comes down to who people like more. Maybe they like Venom more. They feel they can sell more by slapping Venom on a cover. I don't know.
I think it's profit sharing. I think it is straight up like when Marvel and Sony worked out the deal for Spider-Man, the part of the deal was you can pretty much like have Spider-Man, but you have to push Venom pretty much everywhere else. You have to push our spin-off movies in some capacity.
Yeah, interesting.
We need another hack so we can know this for certain. But that's my theory. But then again, why not Miles? My theory is because they're pissed at Bendis.
Yeah, I mean, if they're pissed enough to commission a whole annual after so long of no book to basically delete everything Ultimate Universe and everything he did, I could see them being bitter enough to not let him have a book.
Totally. Despite the fact there is a Miles book. But even then, the Miles book has the Spider-Gwen in it. They have Miles, like they have like Peter Parker's in it. Like,
well, there's been no Miles book for a bit. It's been canceled for a while.
Oh no, I know. I'm saying that even
oh,
the
right.
Spider-Verse movie doesn't just feature Miles.
Right, that's fair.
Push everyone else except for Miles.
And he's going to be in the video game, and he can be in Champions because there's so many other characters.
Totally. And you know what? Like, good. Like, you keep him on the Champions. At the very least, then, like, you have this fun character being used somewhere. Plus, like, maybe it'll keep people from dropping the book.
Yeah,
like
it's funny. I think Zub has actually breathed a lot of life in the book, and someone asked him on Twitter, "Hey, are you going to address Miles's 2 sets of memories? Are you going to address any of this in the book?" To which Zub kindly said on Twitter, "There is not enough page real estate to address these things. I'm just going to write fun stories with Miles."
Yeah, and I think that's the way to do it. Like, there's no reason to try and reconcile or square circles with Miles when no one is interested in doing that, and upstairs they're like, don't do it. Like,
Yeah, just don't.
If you're getting opposition from upstairs and no one's asking for it, then just spin your wheels.
It's the perfect example of, oh, you tried to fix it, but you ended up breaking way more things in trying to fix it.
Yes. Strong Amazon, do you think Sony will try a Spider-Gwen movie? Yes, and I'm sure it's in our pitches. Mod King Mopey, now hear me out, Big Wheel. I think not. Big Wheel's a great Spider-Man villain we haven't seen in a long time. I think he showed up in a Dan Slott run, or at the very least during the Brand New Day. But yeah, check out Big Wheel if you've never looked him up.
No, Sal, it's perfect. You see, in the Big Wheel movie, it's Spider-Man meets Fast and the Furious, and Big Wheel has to beat Overdrive in a race.
That'd be great. Yeah, and get Vin Diesel in there.
Of course.
Strong Amazon, Paste Pot Pete, the movie trilogy, finally. Guru Lahima, I feel like Miles should be in his own universe. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way.
I didn't feel that way, but the more time goes on.
The more, yeah. I think we can call it Ultimate Spider-Man. What do you think, guys? I think it has a nice ring to it. Joshua Wright, I think that if they changed all the pronouns and called it something else, Venom actually looks like it could have been a really cool movie. If it was something else, yeah. Or if it was like Disney owns a lot of other studios. If Disney had decided to like Miramax up Venom and go like, it's part of the universe, but we're never going to address it and don't expect Captain America to show up. Like, we're going to make a hard R Venom movie over there.
Yeah.
Like they did with the Netflix universe.
But they didn't want that. They wanted a franchise. They wanted their own piece of the superhero pie that they are forever denied.
Agreed. Mr. Roboto, here's how to sell Venom. Put him on The Rock. Done. I guess, yeah. Do you mean the island, or do you mean the actor?
The actor. Both.
Yeah. Will Iron Golden, Sony will probably have a Marvel Spider-Man villain verse. They tried, and no one asked for it, and B, it fell out from under them. So hopefully it'll keep going. And Chase Eichler, Craven's a terrible idea. Who's gonna hunt? Who's he gonna hunt? Venom? He should be set up in the Black Panther 2. Then Craven's Last Hunt can be Marvel's villain standalone movie. But Sony doesn't play nice, so no. Sony. No. I mean, like, here's the thing. Sony's playing nicer than Fox did.
Yes.
But I think Sony sees the writing on the wall with the acquisition of Fox, and now they're thinking, like, maybe since we're the only ones left, we can start flexing our muscles a little bit.
Or maybe the fact that they've seen that the Fox acquisition went through with more or less no real being messed around by any, governmental agencies. Maybe they figure if they up their numbers and say, oh yeah, we got 900 of these movies in development, they can sell out to someone and still have their head held high, where it's like, well, we were gonna make movies until we were bought.
I think that's exactly right. I mean, Ethan said it best in one of our long-standing discussions where he was just like, we have to look like we win. Like, we need to be able to work it out so that, like, we look like so that we're the heroes of our own story. So we need to, like, look like we had to give up something and you had to give up something too, even though our movie studio is hemorrhaging money and it's just a big clusterfuck and no one knows how to make these movies anymore. And Guru Lahima, is Marvel doing anything with the Ultimate Universe? No, they're not. Not for any length of time, and especially not now that Bendis is gone. And Tevye, of course, asking a question about Mayday Parker. Why won't Sony do a Spider-Girl Mayday Parker movie? Because he's the daughter of Peter Parker, and Peter Parker is like 14 years old.
And also, they don't know who she is.
Yes, also, they don't care. So,
yeah, if you ask them Mayday Parker, their eyes would cross, and they'd be like, get out of our office.
That's right. So that's why. That's also why there's no Renew Your Vows universe movie, so I already answered your other super chat. Yeah, so that being said, even though we've all talked about what a terrible idea this would be and how I think it's just a bankrupt concept and it's just indicative of desperate people who don't know anything, it just feels like that Steve Buscemi meme. Like, how do you do, fellow kids? It just feels like, hey, we can do franchises too. It's not hard. I mean, look at Universal. Oh my God. What about DC? Oh Jesus. Well, I'm sure that just because we can't make any good movies besides like one or two every other year or every 2 or 3 years, that we could definitely make a franchise out of a character who we don't even really control anymore.
Yep. I mean, everything's on fire, but it's fine.
Yeah, this is fine. So, that being said, let's talk about some characters that Sony will probably use, and let's see where they go. Joel, what do you got, man?
All right, so I set this up kind of interestingly. I challenged myself. I have my elevator pitch, and then I have like my minute-long sizzle reel VO pitch for it.
Okay, here it is.
All right, so think of this, Sal. It's John Q meets Iron Man.
Okay, John Q?
Yes.
What is?
You remember them? Denzel Washington. His kid was sick, so he took a hospital hostage.
Oh, okay, all right, I'm with you now.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, no, I'm
All right.
back.
So when all right, there you go. So, when brilliant surgeon Elias Wortham's brother dies due to corporate greed, he takes it upon himself to heal the sick at any cost, even if it means going outside the law. But when his free underground clinic comes under siege by ruthless New York gangster known as Hammerhead, Elias will need to do some much-needed harm himself as Cardiac, coming summer 2020.
Yes, Cardiac, a Cardiac movie. Come on. God damn it.
He'd feel right at home, wouldn't you? He'd feel right at home with Venom and Carnage, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would, despite how friggin' dumb he is.
Yep.
Yes, Cardiac. Good pull, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, so that's your sizzle reel or your elevator pitch? Which one was it?
It's both. It's my sizzle reel and my elevator pitch.
Oh, okay. So that's your pitch. Like that's what we would do with Cardiac.
That's what we would do with Cardiac. We would make it this, guy builds a costume to rail against the man, the insurance companies, and the corrupt medical industrial complex. I'd make it a message movie.
Oh, of course, naturally.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you go with the traditional Cardiac costume with the big shoulder blades, with the blue face, with the no nose, with the pole?
That's pretty solid. There's also the updated one from Superior that was pretty nice too, where it looked less silly.
Yes, I think you gotta go. I think you gotta Luke Cage this up. At least have one scene with the tiara, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh,
maybe he loses the shoulder pads in a fight and being like, "These are really stupid. Why did I think that was okay?"
Yeah, they're actually in the way. It's really bad. So, who are you casting for Prowler?
Or Cardiac.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cardiac. Yes.
That's fine. He's so forgettable and interchangeable. I almost did Prowler too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Prowler needs to be a thing. I feel like they definitely said they were going to do a Prowler movie, but I don't think that they're going to.
I mean, he might be a little old now, but I made the John Q reference, so let's get Denzel in here. We already got the guy writing the Equalizer for Craven, so he knows him.
So Denzel Washington playing Cardiac?
Yes, he might be a little too old, but who cares? It's Sony.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, Jamie Foxx didn't fit in the Electro role, but why not,
No.
right? I mean, like, after Equalizer 2, and knowing that Sony's getting people who write Denzel Washington movies, that makes perfect sense. And Denzel could use, like, a win.
He sure could.
Equalizer 2. So,
yeah.
Despite the fact that he's an Academy Award-winning actor and he doesn't need any of this.
But who doesn't want some of that sweet superhero cheese, though?
True dat. So, all right, so we went with Cardiac. What else we got?
Did you want to do one, or because I still got some here?
These are, like, as much as I want to do pitches, I like, for me, for my money, I'm just, like, more like what I expect them to do.
Right, of course.
I mean, like, and if you want to think about, like, good ideas, I really and truly expect them to make a, like, if they're not going to do, like, a silver and black movie, then at the very least they are going to make, like, a silver and then a black movie. Like, I can imagine them making a Black Cat movie about, like, just a chick who's, looking to steal some, like, someone's heart. It's just Catwoman all over again, basically.
Or Ocean's 8, that's a thing that happened recently.
Yeah, but, like, she'd need to team up with somebody else, and I think that in order to make it a Black Cat movie, you need to just have, like, one character.
Yeah.
So I could see it being that. And then, of course, like, they'd have to, like, skirt around the whole, like, powers issue, and they could either, like, do powers or just make it tech-based. But I fully expect a Black Cat movie, as do I expect a Silver Sable movie, just because they mentioned her. The fact they know who she is, the fact that Silver Sable had a miniseries, and you could easily adapt it without Spider-Man, and the fact
sure helps.
I mean, like, they could do literally just Silver Sable and the Wild Pack, the movie.
Yeah.
And it's just about, like, this lady who runs a country and kicks ass and has a, like, rowdy team, and one of the members of the team is new and he wants to bang her and he's a real jerk, and Sandman's like the dark horse character on the team.
Yeah.
He's the Juggernaut moment in your Deadpool 2 movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sandman,
I like it.
I remember him from Spider-Man 3. Why am I still in the theater? But again,
and you get Thomas Hayden Church back to
right?
place.
By the way, I would absolutely see them doing that. Like,
yeah,
that is so totally something that Sony would do.
it's a Sony move for sure.
Before we get to your next pitch, Chase Eichler, also Venom has threatened to eat somebody again, but do we really think he is? He only eats Skrulls. I haven't seen him eat a human being in a while, but I honestly have not read the book lately. So I mean, he has wings and stuff now, so I don't know.
Yes,
the
he does.
sky's the limit as far as Venom's concerned. Do we have a message redacted? And Trenton Brown saying, "Have we suggested an Anya Corazon movie yet, or an Aranya Corazon movie yet?" No, we have not. You could easily do that movie.
You could,
because of the other angle and the fact that there's no science whatsoever based on it.
Yeah,
I think the first book, just Aranya, you could just adapt that. Boom, you're ready to go.
I do actually have a Latino Spider-Man character, but I'm saving them for the end.
Okay.
I'll have this next elevator. It's like Stranger Things meets Spider-Man. Okay.
Okay. So
and here,
Stranger Things meets Spider-Man. I got it. All right.
All right. Here you go. Here's my little trailer sizzle reel. Cassie, Eddie, Richie, and Johnny were 4 outcast teens from New York, brought together by their mutual love of superheroes. As kids, they would make believe they were heroes, but now they're older and they want nothing more than to fight the good fight. So they develop their own costumes inspired by their favorite hero, Venom, to become the Slingers: Dusk, Hornet, Prodigy, and Ricochet.
Oh my God! Yes. Slingers is 4 whole movies. The fact they didn't do, that they haven't even mentioned it means, well, number one, they don't know anything about what they have. But number two, Slingers. That's a whole franchise. You could do an Avengers of Slingers.
Yes, you could.
Yep. Yeah, Ricochet movie, a Dusk movie, a Prodigy movie, and then whatever the other guy was, and then you're ready to go.
Yep.
And then
it's a team. It's young people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No, Slingers is a movie. And, Sony's funny. You could see Sony just trying to push, trying to build, to an Avengers moment, but being like, no, let's just put them all in one movie. Let's just make Slingers.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
and you could have it be total like Kick-Ass and Super, where it's teens trying to be super, but they don't quite have mastery over their powers yet, if some of them even do, because I know 1 or 2 of them is a mutant, so that's a problem. But you work around, they fall off rooftops, they have fun.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't have to worry about the mutant thing. You got the, what is it? What do they do with Runaways? I know one of them ain't a mutant no more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. Just say, I got baked-in powers.
Yeah, I'm an Inhuman. Wait, no, Sony doesn't have that. But yeah,
can't have them either.
The Life Foundation gave us powers.
There you go.
Their favorite hero, Venom.
Their favorite hero, Venom. Which, hey, if they're a group of edgy teens, of course Venom is their favorite hero.
Well, of course. I mean, why wouldn't they be? God.
Yeah. Venom is so cool, isn't he? Remember when he ate those guys?
Yeah, so let's honor him by being fun, practically JSA versions of Marvel characters.
Yep.
And honor this bloodthirsty monster who murders people.
He's our lethal protector. Venom is friend to children everywhere.
Yeah. Slingers had its own series, so you could definitely do that. That's a no-brainer. Yeah, absolutely. Holy crap.
That's what. But who would they fight, though, is the question. Who do the Slingers traditionally fight?
Well, I'll tell you who they fight, because the Venom movie is going to be implicating, the fact that there's going to be, all these different symbiotes. Why don't you just break out all 5 of the symbiotes? After all, we're going to get Lash
and Scream and Riot.
Riot. The fact that Riot's going to be in the new movie, but we haven't even touched other characters, like I said, Scream. Well, the only one that I really like is Scream. So I don't really remember any of their character names.
There was Lash, there was Scream. I know there's other ones. Toxin. Although Toxin came later.
I mentioned Toxin.
Because you got to have Carnage before you can have Toxin.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they could do it whenever. I'm sorry, it's Lasher and Phage with a PH.
Phage, of course.
Scream. Don't forget Agony. These are great characters. Yeah. And the Slingers could, each Slinger could fight one of the symbiotes in each movie until finally we have an Avengers-style movie where they all fight all 5 symbiotes, and
I like
wouldn't you know it, then there's a cameo by Venom at the end.
Oh, their hero comes to help them, and he's like, "You kids did good. We approve."
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yep. That's a Sony movie right there.
That is straight up like Sony's like, yes, these two geniuses need to be executives at Sony.
Tomorrow we get letters in the mail. Well, Sal, I guess we're now executives at Sony, so we got to move to Burbank.
Right, exactly. Well, Sal, I got a check for like $60,000 for our idea. We have to take down the video, but like, you know what? Done. I am a sellout when it comes to bullshit like this.
Yep. Hey, Joel, what's with the fur coat and Cuban cigars? Oh, yeah, I got a new Sony job.
Yeah, I'm doing well for myself.
I don't even smoke.
No, this is it's a new vape.
I'm lighting it just because.
Yeah, just because I'm a big shot now. At least until Sony implodes.
That too.
Which is imminent. Chase Eichler, a Ben Reilly movie starring Andrew Garfield.
It's surprising they never went with clones. Maybe even Sony isn't as dumb as maybe we think they are, where they're like, no, we can't have a Shadow of the original clone movie. We'll make Shadow of the original clone type movies, but we're not going to use the clone in them.
Oh no, they were doing clones. If you didn't read the Sony hack emails, part of their solution to fix Spider-Man 3 was to like clone Gwen and have a clone saga.
Oh, I must have blocked that part from my brain.
It's a whole mess. Will.i.am Golden, a Jackal and Hydro Man buddy movie. Especially because of people's love and nostalgia for the 90s Spider-Man cartoon show, which of course implicated Hydro Man as like a carrier for the cloning gene or whatever. Like they used Hydro Man's powers to make clones.
Yep.
Which is totally just made up.
It sure is. But Morris Bench is a fun name.
Yeah, it is. And of course, getting Rob Paulson to play him is hilarious. I don't know if
I
don't know if you've ever like heard Paulson, aka Yakko Warner, and everyone else talking about playing like Maury Bench on the Spider-Man animated series, but he was brought in to play somebody else, and they got somebody else, and they were just like, "No, we want you to play Hydro Man," and he's like, "Okay, what funny thing am I gonna do?" They're like, "No, we want you to act."
Oh.
And he's like, "Oh. Okay, I mean, like, I will, but, like, this is some heavy shit. Like, there's moments where, like, you know, he's just, like, they're explaining to him how, like, she doesn't love him, and he's, like, just screams at the top of his lungs. Like,
oh, yeah.
A lot of great demo reels for actors that wouldn't have expected to get those opportunities from the Spider-Man animated series. I mean, just remember the time when Spider-Man was so incensed by Shocker that he said he would follow him till the ends of the earth.
The end of the earth! And also, Shocker is friggin' Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. No, straight up. I was like, is that friggin', like, whatever the hell his name is? Like, I always remember his name, and I just forgot it. That sucks. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh. He also played Scar during Be Prepared. That now I've ruined Be Prepared for You at the end of the song. But yeah, so, anyway.
super talented people on that show.
Yeah, Jim Cummings, thanks, everybody.
A master Jim Cummings. I hope to meet him one day.
Yeah, he's at every con. You could always just run into him. Well, let's see here. Mr. Roboto, when no Aquaman is not near, Nam or Speeder. What? I think either me or Mr. Roboto had a stroke during reading that. Mr. Roboto, when no Aquaman is not near Namor Speedo, then suit. I have no idea what you're saying.
That feels like a riddle we need to decode.
Mr. Roboto, you spent $2 and I have no idea what the hell you just said, and I'm really sorry for that. Tales from Island Z, would the Shocker, if he wasn't an idiot, have a shot against Venom? And how much would he need to power up? I've always wondered this. Because the Shocker makes like vibration, which is a kind of type of like I'm shocked, no pun intended, that like they've never done the Shocker like inadvertently or accidentally like beating the crap out of Venom.
That would be cool. Or even Spider-Man being like, okay, look, Schultz, we need your help. The symbiotes are attacking again.
Right. Or is just Spider-Man just breaking out like some, like, I keep crap from my fights. I've got the Shocker's vibro things. I'm going to use that.
Same for Ulysses S. Claw. That's another one.
Totally. Claw would fight Venom in a heart, or at least would hold his own against Venom in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And Bubba7012, here's my pitch. A horror movie set in the Ravencroft Institute with a character trapped in an asylum, and at the end reveal, it's Dr. Judas Traveler. Mic drop, Judas Traveler. Where is that movie?
Tell me about it. It's like Constantine and Supernatural.
Yeah. Listen, that's a show. Ravencroft is a show.
I would watch it.
But, yeah. So, anyway, jumping into the rest of the pitches here.
All right, so here's my next one. It's like The Departed meets Batman.
Oh, okay, I'm in.
All right. Yuri Watanabe was a career cop in New York City who always played by the book. But when her partner is killed by a new costumed villain calling themselves Mr. Negative, Yuri decides to steal dangerous tech from the police lockup and use it to become the crime-fighting ghost known as Wraith.
Yeah. Wraith is the next one that that Sony should probably consider doing.
It has to be.
There's no way that they wouldn't do Wraith. No,
it's right there. And she's going to be in the new video game, so people are going to know who she is very soon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So she's going to actually have name cachet.
Yeah, I didn't get a picture for Wraith. But, you know what? That's not bad. Like, that's actually, like, that's probably, out of all of them, that's probably the most likely to happen.
Yeah, and again, there's cool stuff there where it's like, yeah, she repurposes Mysterio tech to make criminals crap their pants, and isn't that fun and interesting? And heck, Jerry Conway wrote her final story, The Circle, and it was actually really well done. Or no, The Spiral.
The Spiral, yeah.
It was the best send-off that a character like that ever deserved to get, and it had one of the greatest lines ever when she's talking about the lives of superheroes and saying, some go up, some go down, but most go round and round like a spiral. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking deep, Yuri.
Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah.
No, that's solid. That's like a real thing. Out of all the jokes we've made, that's like a real thing that will probably happen if they get anywhere close to a thing.
Again, Sony, call me. I got 1 million of them.
The funny thing is, like, it'll never, like, who will they, like, I guess they could fight, they could take on Mr. Negative, they could take on, like, lower level street crime characters that they already have access to.
Crime Master.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, I think Silvermane is a Marvel character, I think Hammerhead is a Marvel character, like, I don't think that they have, the Kingpin they can't use, like, they have to go with Mr. Negative. Tombstone, yeah.
I think Tombstone is still tied up in Spider-Man because that's where he appeared first.
I have to assume. And Mr. Roboto saying, Namor movie start with Speedo, end with an X-suit. I see.
Oh, okay.
That'd be cool, yeah. I mean, like, you have to push the old X-Men angle. Plus, I think there's something weird with Namor. I know that Kevin Smith asked Joe Quesada a few years ago about it, and he was like, oh, no, we have Namor. But, like, I don't know if that's true. And and everyone tried to walk back that interview, so I don't think anybody knows. Just like I think Marvel found out that they didn't, that Universal wasn't willing to play ball, like while they were in development of a Hulk movie.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think that Namor works with a Speedo anyway because he's just a badass.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
But yeah, I think the X suit is a way to make him more modestly dressed, and I think I've seen worse costumes from Namor. So.
I mean, when he's underwater, he can wear the Speedo because, he's not doing anything for modesty. But when he's on the land...
Yeah, exactly. For me, I think, like, the next one should probably be a Spider-Man 2099 movie.
That seems the most obvious because it's so far removed from Peter Parker, has a ton of story potential and a ton of material you can draw on.
And they haven't, like... They have not shied away from the idea of Spider-Man being referenced, or I mean, like the Into the Spider-Verse thing. It's all directly connected to Peter Parker. You could you could get away with Into the Spider-Verse. And by the way, like, hey, Sony's dipping their toe into animation again with the Spider-Verse movie. You could save half the budget by making the damn thing CG or like traditional animation.
You'd have to anyway with all the high-tech future stuff.
Well, I've seen the plans for a like live-action Batman Beyond movie over time, and I feel like like they could just take those ideas and go like, no, we could make it futuristic. Like we could do that. Like you mean to suggest like just put a dude in a CG suit against a green screen? We could do that.
Yeah.
Like,
and we will.
It would work either way. I mean, and I think that's like. If so, like, in fact, hey Sony, stop making live-action movies. Give all the live-action stuff back, and just should just make animated Spider-Man, Spider-Verse movies.
That'd be nice.
You can make your Spider-Gwen movie. You can make your 2099 movie. You can make more Venom movies. Like you can make symbiote movies to your heart's content, and like it'll look cool. So
sky's the limit.
Yeah. What else you got?
All right, here we go. So this one I describe as Sicario meets the Phantom.
Okay.
Let's see Let's see if you can see where I'm going with this.
A lot of crime themes, but like Spider-Man is a street level superhero at the end of the day, so it does make sense.
It's true. Here we go. Let's see if you can call this character before I even announce his name. Carlos Muerta's life was changed forever when he discovered his family's legacy as the Black Tarantula, a superpowered costume individual who is capable of either great good or great evil. But when the sins of his family's past come back to haunt him, Carlos will need to learn to master his new abilities if he ever hopes to survive.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, Black Tarantula. I mean, like, the funny thing is, I think that's so far removed from Spider-Man. Sony
it really is.
People would go, so you're just making like rip-off Spider-Man characters? Like, no, Black Tarantula has a rich, full history. He's a real character.
Ask Tom DeFalco about him.
Yeah, he won't shut up. But yeah, the Black Tarantula. Hey, you know what? That's a thing. Again, like, these are all Sony like, so far that sells. And hey, like, Carlos Muerto, why not? Hey, you got your diversity angle there.
There you go.
Sony.
Between that and Wraith, there you go.
Right? No, that's true.
Have you given a Hispanic or an Asian hero their own movie? Didn't think so.
That's right. And so why not? Like, no one else is working on it. And you know that, like, Marvel won't go like, oh, whoa, we want to do something with that character one day. Like, no, I'm pretty sure you could worry. You can rest easy working on your Black Tarantula movie.
They're gonna be like, Black Tarantula. Did we own that? Were we gonna do anything with that?
Thing? I don't know. Let him have it.
His costume looks cool too, and it looks very Venom inspired because it's black and white with purple arms.
Totally. Yep, that works. Similarly, I think that they will definitely be. I think that, like, after Into the Spider-Verse, the movie, I think Into the Spider-Verse will do better than Venom.
I think so too, because it's animated, and those ones usually do better.
Yeah, so more kids can go. I think that releasing movies in October is a big mistake in general. But I also think, like, if Spider-Verse does well, you're gonna see your spin-off universe come from there, and if you do, there's no question the next movie will be Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, or Ghost Spider, as she is now known.
Right, or Ghost Spider. I forgot about
because to make her more marketable, we as comic fans know what the Gwen is in reference to. Regular Joe Schmo popcorn doesn't know what the Gwen is in reference to.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, I'm seeing a Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider character movie, especially in animation. It's almost like they were developing that animated style for that movie just for her.
Yeah, and I mean, I think she could be really big. Also, hey, this whole Spider-Gwen event that they're doing right now seems almost tailor-made to try and get these characters more out in the open, to try and really, like, test pitches. Like that Spider-Punk book I read was really just a pitch for a Spider-Punk series. It would be like this.
Oh, totally. And maybe, like we said, like we were talking about how, like, maybe Marvel is kind of like beholden to try and sell Sony movies. Like,
yeah.
Maybe there's more Spider-Punk than we thought. I mean, he's getting a skin in the game. He's got his own book. He's probably going to play like we know he's probably going to die in the Spider-Geddon book, which means he'll probably play some cool role in it. If that's the case, like, maybe the reason why they're pushing him so hard is because there's going to be a Spider-Punk role in the movie, or Sony is thinking about doing a Spider-Punk universe movie.
Yeah. Spider-Punk will never die.
That's right.
Spider-Punk lives, much like Sid Vicious lives.
Yeah, because he's so marketable.
Mm-hmm.
Preston Bryant, yes, please. I would completely love a $20.99 movie. Yeah, no, I mean, like, like, going in that direction actually makes me less annoyed. Like,
same.
If Sony wants to be Disney's puppet and just be like, listen, Disney, we're Disney. We can't make animated movies anymore. So, or animated shows for that matter, except for DuckTales and, like, you know, Pixar flicks. Yeah. But, like, you could make these Spider-Man movies for us. We'll do that. Like, knock yourselves out. So yeah, that's my pitch for a Gwen movie. Is just like, it's literally just a spin-off from the animated movie.
And you have so much material with Spider-Gwen too that you can build on, because there was so much there and so much written.
It's true. Yeah. No, that's like, there is enough there to build a whole universe, though. And really, like, even all the fun in Marvel Universe references, you can just tweak them a little bit, make them not.
Yeah.
Just he's a blind Kingpin.
Yeah. Is that Matt Murdock? Maybe.
I don't know. We don't own him, so no.
His name is Matt, but we won't tell you his last name.
Right. It's an homage.
There you go. Everything is an homage. Everything we don't know.
You like that we didn't mean to do is an homage.
Perfect.
Any other pitches so far?
That was my 4 I came up with before we started today.
Well, they're not bad. I gotta tell you, like, these are all things that are better than what Sony would be working on or claims they are working on.
I clearly work better under pressure, as you can tell. Hey, Joel, come up with 4 pitches for the meeting. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Sicario meets, whatever. Like
the Phantom. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, and like, listen, any of the pitches that were made today are better than a Kraven the Hunter movie.
I know, right? Again, it's like, how do you even pitch that? He's a Russian guy. He lives in Africa. He hunts the animals. Sometimes he is an animal man. He died, and that was really good. And he had 2 kids who no one liked as much, so they brought him back.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and like, you're not gonna do, like, you can't have him kill himself and then come back to life. Like, you gotta skip the best story he's ever been in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Aranya makes sense, or Spider-Girl. I guess they could just call her Spider-Girl.
But could we do something with Alistair Smythe? People love giant robots, but they can't be spider slayers. They have to be like Venom slayers or something.
Yeah, they could be symbiote slayers or whatever.
SS, perfect.
Yeah.
That's alliteration for you.
Right? Honorable mentions, by the way, go out to a gritty crime drama starring Gene Deowulf.
That's okay. I like that.
And a, what was it? A, like, secondhand Lions, like, Gran Torino style tug at your heartstrings Aunt May movie.
Oh, that's pretty fun too. Where she befriends a youth in trouble and helps them with the power of positivity.
Yep, teaches them with great power comes great responsibility and blah blah blah. Who gives a shit?
And she always mentions her nephew Peter, but we never see him around. These are the friends Aunt May makes when Peter leaves her in the lurch.
Exactly. She used to use her house as like a boarding house. It's
That's
her
right.
and a bunch of kids. It's like Dangerous Minds, but with Aunt May.
I like that. I like that a lot. Or Stand and Deliver with Aunt May.
There you go. That works.
I taught these kids.
Yeah, boom. So these are all movies that Sony will or probably will make at some point or another. Mod King Moby, that old guy Peter wouldn't arrest because Uncle Ben Sal knows who I mean. Yeah, the Black Fox. Where's the Black Fox movie?
Oh, yeah. Where's, that's an interesting one.
I think Black Fox was going, when they were working on, like, the Raimi movie, and they were talking about, no, I think Felicia was the Vulture's daughter.
Yes, the Vulturess.
But I've heard people talking about the idea of, like, linking the Black Fox and Black Cat, because they're both black and animal-themed, and he's old.
They kind of did that in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon where they said the cat burglar, the guy who shot Uncle Ben, turned out to actually be Felicia's dad.
Right, yeah. And I've heard that. And that's cool. Like, but why not have, like, a fun erudite, like, you get Patrick Stewart to play the Black Fox, make him
Gentleman Thief.
Yeah, make him grow a big mustache, have him do a voice, sells tickets.
I'd watch it.
Mr. Roboto, Hydra Man, Sandman, and Electro movie. Please, where's that Sinister Syndicate movie?
Tell me about superior foes. You just call it superior foes. You drop the Spider-Man, and again, that's your Guardians of the Galaxy right there. That's your schlubby, down on your luck supervillains trying to make it New York when there's so many bigger villains above them, and you have Fred Myers, Boomerang. He totally Ray Liotta's it up, like in Goodfellas, like he does in the comics. All my life, all I ever wanted to be was a supervillain.
I mean, let me tell you something. I got a great director for you. His name's James Gunn.
Oh yeah, he's
He's available.
He's available right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. So hey, there you have it. Those are our pitches and suggestions, and probably expectations for a Sony interconnected Spider-Man-less universe.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Anderson, kidnapped by a seeming madman, claiming to be a cipher for a spider god, Cindy Moon, in her attempts to escape, realizes her captor isn't so mad after all. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, where's the Ezekiel movie, by the way?
Yeah, where is Ezekiel? I'm surprised that's something they haven't tried to pitch, just a weird rich guy who's obsessed with spider lore.
Oh, and don't forget the Morlun movie, and how about the Inheritors?
Do you love Twilight? Do you love vampire movies? Well, they're energy vampires from another dimension.
Yep. Also starring Jared Leto.
He pulls double. He plays all the inheritors, even the girl ones.
Yeah, it's like friggin' the Nutty Professor. So
he's a tour de force. They sit around the table eating energy.
Yep. Again, Sony. These are ideas that you would do. Take them as a warning for the future. You suck. Tails from Island Z. Would they do Spider-Man Eternal? Pete finds a MacGuffin and Lost in Time, i.e., Batman Eternal, except no Darkseid. I mean, maybe. I think they're trying to do like a Peter Parker-less Spider-Man universe. The bitches are mostly the Venom universe.
Yeah.
You know, which is to say everyone that isn't Spider-Man.
Yeah, everyone who isn't Spider-Man. Yeah. Man, I truly do expect we'll wake up tomorrow morning and all of these ideas will have been greenlit while we were sleeping.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I expect to see like IGN has like a whole list of them. And, I have an inside track at Sony, and they mentioned all these ideas, and it's like, you just ripped off the Elseworlds Exchange, but no one listens to the show. But, I fully expect all these pitches to be, like, tweaked, Hollywooded, where it's like, okay, I like what you're doing, but what if it was really, I like your plan, except it sucks. So what if I come up with your plan, and that way, it might actually be good. Like, I like your plan, except it's good, so what if I made it crappy, and that way, it might actually get made? Like...
And where's the product placement? Where are we going to put ads in this thing?
Everywhere. I mean, like, listen, you want Hydra Man to work at McDonald's? I mean, like,
he can.
Listen, Pete Ross works at the frickin' IHOP. Like,
he does.
Nothing is sacred. So please, knock yourselves out. Yeah, Spider-Ham movies, please. It's all like, let's do it all. I mean, why not? The sky's the limit. Money's just sitting there waiting to be plucked. Like manna from heaven. Please, knock yourselves out, Sony.
And they all drink Pepsi, right? All the time.
Oh, naturally. Oh, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. It's all Mountain Dew. It's flowing from the rivers.
It's everywhere, and the labels are always facing out like no one does.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I know. I do it deliberately so everyone knows what kind of tasty beverage I'm ingesting. Even if the drinker part...
Hey, Zevia, call me.
Even if it's all the way on the other side of the can, I like to pour drinks all over myself just so I can make sure that these things are sold because I love that product so much. Sony! Anyway...
Can the big fight be at a Pizza Hut?
Yes. It was going to be in a Domino's, but the Pizza Hut's better. That way people will actually be in danger.
And then the hero picks up the breadstick crust and throws it at the symbiote, right?
Oh, yeah. And then he takes a bite out of it and says, better than brains. Like, why not?
There you go.
We'll see you guys next week with another episode of the Elseworlds Exchange. I'm Sal.
I'm Joel.
Bye, everybody.